This really is a sorry day for this government. The motion that we have got before us to allocate time was allocated on the basis either of error or of falsehood. The whip went round to Conservative members of Parliament and said that it would be on regulations which includes the European arrest warrant. Now, my right honourable friend, the Chief Whip, is one of the cleverest men in the House of Commons. He has a brain the size of a planet. He is the highest quality and most honourable gentleman you could find. I cannot believe that he would make a basic error of this kind. We have whips scuttling around this House, saying that a vote will be taken tonight that is indicative of what the Parliament thinks, the House of Commons thinks, about the European arrest warrant. This is a procedural absurdity. It is legislative legerdemain that the government cannot conceivably decide that one vote is indicative of another vote. What might they decide next? That the country has a vote to cut taxes, but that indicates they want to increase them. That we have a vote to indicate that we want longer prison sentences, but that is one to cut them. It is the way of tyranny, because it takes away the right of the House of Commons to hold the executive to account. And if I may say so, Mr. Speaker, I'm
very grateful to my honourable friend. I think everybody who's been present in this and everybody who's spoken, regardless of a very wide range of political views, is unanimous. We came here expecting to vote the decision to opt in to 35 measures and expecting to have a vote that would affect that one way or the other. Now, can I suggest, before we all get worked up and decide this is the biggest threat to parliamentary democracy since the gunpowder plot, that we allow the Home Secretary to explain how the government is going to give us the debate that we want and the vote that we all want, although he and I don't always see the eye on these measures and may not eventually vote the same way upon it.
My right honourable and learned friend makes a point that is as always worth listening to, but is in error. This needs to be debated, and debated thoroughly, because it is my contention, Mr. Speaker, that this is not accidental. A letter was sent to the Right Honourable Lady, the Shadow Home Secretary, saying that we would have a vote. The Prime Minister and First Lord of the Treasury said to this House that there would be a vote. The Lord High Chancellor and the Home Secretary sent a letter to the European Scrutiny Committee promising us that there would be a vote on the European arrest warrant and all the opt-ins and opt-outs. And then when we come to it, it is a vote proposed with extra debating time on a number of relatively obscure measures that require statutory instruments. And that would then be intended to determine the view of the House. That is not a proper parliamentary procedure. It is an outrageous abuse of parliamentary procedure. I often disagree with my right honourable and learned friend about European matters, and others indeed, and with the Home Secretary, my honourable friend the Home Secretary, in these matters. But this debate today is of a degree worse than our disagreements. Our disagreements are polite and fiercely held views that we discuss in an upright and, I hope, proper fashion. This motion and this approach is fundamentally underhand, and that is why there is such anger, not just on the Conservative bench, it's not just amongst Eurosceptics, but among my right honourable gentleman, the chairman of the Home Affairs Committee, who is shocked by this, by Scottish nationalists who think this is a poor way of behaving. I give way to my right honourable friend.
Grateful to my honourable friend. And is he aware of the irony that as we approach the 800th celebration of Magna Carta, at the heart of this debate should be habeas corpus and the rights we've taken from those previous generations, and those rights are not going to be debated today?
I agree with my right honourable friend. We should be having the time to debate the issues that really matter, not obscurities. And as I look down, of course I'll give way to the honourable gentleman.
I wouldn't want the honourable member to leave the Liberal Democrats out of his list. Even those of us who support the European arrest warrant would really value the opportunity to argue in favour of it and vote in favour of it. We want to get the hashtag Tories soft on crime trending on Twitter. We want to have a real debate, and we want that opportunity as well. And I don't often agree with him on matters European, but on this one I do.
I'm extremely grateful to my honourable friend, the member for Cheltenham, for making that point, because I hope it brings home to the Treasury bench the deep discontent. And, Mr. Speaker, I was saying earlier how deeply grateful I am to you that you are protecting the rights of the legislature against the executive by clarifying the terms of this debate. As I look down from here at the Treasury bench, I want to see something that is solid, but I am worried that it is made of increasingly crooked wood. We want to have it re-solidified, and we want this motion withdrawn.